Good evening and welcome everyone. Today we have a more subdued O-line boss who is just kind of here and going with the flow. We'll see if he gains energy later, but first of all, we do have a NGS playoff match for the Division D Northeast. We see Brickhouse facing the side of Infernal Affairs. Brickhouse is seed 5 coming into this tournament, while Infernal Affairs is at seed 4, so should be a good match indeed. Right, to see how we got to the map of Dragonshire, we do see the bands of Towers of Doom and Sky Temple from Brickhouse, while Infernal Affairs did ban the Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Right, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. I nearly pushed the wrong button. This one. Excellent, excellent. I have only gone and done it. Right, on the left-hand side of Brickhouse, we see Tater on the Sylvanas, Dovetail on what appears to be, I can't see behind all that, Sonya, I believe, Zesty on the Decade, Ivolk on the Muradin, and Shyborg on the Tychus. On the right-hand side, we see Sparklark on the Leoric, Redface Beast on the Cassia, Ragu on the Stukov, Stro on the Blaze, and Hexblades on the Tassadar. It looks like we're just going to get some very early siege coming through this bottom lane from the side of Infernal Affairs. However, the side of Brickhouse, pretty quick to react, doesn't let too much happen there. Sylvanas we see splitting into that mid lane, while Sparklark has been left to a double soak for the moment. Seamus coming out, excellent silence with Stukov, however Ivolk will just be able to walk out as we do not see any form of a lock. We don't have too much lockdown yet for the side of Infernal Affairs. Oh, I need to start speaking up with my voice. I feel the energy returning. Looking at the level 1 talents, the only thing to note, two things to note as of questing, we do see that Thunderstroke from Cassia and that Perfect Storm from Muradin. Anything else to note is we do see W build from Tassadar not quite often, and we do actually see the Endurance Stimpack from the Blaze. Probably one of the least picked talents on the level 1, but definitely not a bad talent to say the least. The Orc is still doing that double soak. Unfortunately, that double soak will have to stop pretty soon once the shrines come up, as that top lane will require his attention. Thing to note also, Sylvanas went at level 1 the percent damage on her auto attacks to her slowed heroes. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Anyway, let me close that now so we can just see what is occurring around the place. And for a bit, it is just camps being traded, waves being cleared, you know, the normal Heroes of the Storm thing. So we do see his fours are about to come in for the side of Brickhouse, and we do see the Sylvanas does get the Dragonite with immediately. That is a very early DK. 4 minutes, not even 4 minutes, sorry, 4 levels. Just under 2 minutes is very fast. So DK will just be sieging in this mid by the looks of all the rest of the team. It's kind of just trying to distract the outside of Infernal Affairs, making sure they're not going to get up to this Dragonite in any reasonable speed. And honestly, it worked out pretty well. Ragu got booted. Honestly, one of the better ones to get booted. Blaze gets an excellent double stun, however will not be able to do much more with it. Cassia is electing to stay bottom. Interesting considering she does need those Thunderstroke quest stacks, however now that the Dragonite is here, we do see those very likely will be picking up for a little bit. Yeah. Oh, and up top we see Sparklark taking out the not Joanna. It wasn't going to be Sylvanas either, it is the Sonya that goes down. First blood over the side of Infernal Affairs. With Sparklark very low, if Sylvanas decides to jump on them, that could be a very dead Leoric. However, Leoric did pop the Ossian Renewal by the looks of it. Yes, they did indeed go that Ossian Renewal at 1. Alright, we do see Sparklark is going to keep getting harassed by Tater here. However, we do see Dovetail is stepping up Shadow Dagger didn't actually quite hit Sparklark and went onto a minion, so he should be fine for now. Meanwhile, we do have a 4-man siege happening on bottom, and we're still relatively even on experience. Excellent route by Zesty, getting both Red Face Beast and Hexblades. And like gets Ivelki? Ivelk. I don't know how to say their name, but was collapsed on. The wall and the stun just didn't quite have enough lockdown. I do like the wall within this comp. It means that Blaze is very selective with his stunts. He is the epitome of hit or miss. As most people who have played him do know, if he hits, he hits. But if he misses, even by a few pixels, it seems like you fly into Narnia and will die. That wall does work as a very good extra kind of pseudo CC as it keeps people in, but doesn't stun them. Here we see like a good slow on it due to that electric fence, and we see Grenade actually stopping Hexblades from using their laser beam. Shellborg does have minigun active. I'm just going to yawn. I'm sorry. Again, we just do see very safely, and that wave was almost instantly deleted, so I know now at least that the Sylvanas went to the level 4 queer talent, and that will be the Testadar going down first. Excellent stun by Stro, and that will be Evoke just barely getting out. Sylvanas doing all the damage they can. Cassia actually taking a lot of damage here, as we do see this 4v3, the side of Infernal Affairs. A lot of them are choosing back out. Red Face Beast, however, wants a piece of that pie, trying to get any damage they can. And this time we don't actually see anyone mid to channel it immediately, as that Sylvanas is in this this bot lane. We see we are approaching heroic abilities. Sure. It should be interesting to see how that changes the field. Hexblade's not quite finding anything. The Orc looking to continue that double soak in mid. As you see him still rotating between these two lanes. It's working out for now. Sylvanas is just doing her thing though. We do see Stro coming up, however, just because he is waddling up, he will not get much done. And it'll be interesting to see how long that this red side can hold. Stro coming back in at a pretty opportune time, however, isn't able to find the stun. We do see Heroics coming in for the side of... Well, actually, both teams to quickly run through it. We do have the Avatar Muradin leap on Sonya, Wailing Arrow on Sylvanas, Odin... not Odin. Commandeer Drill on the Minigun Man, who we should see being targeted regular, and Reku will go down. Excellent stand while listen from the... not Malfurion. Oh, anyway, we do see actually this being turned around very well, as it's now 2 for 2, 3 for 2. As we did see a lot happening there, and that will be the DK, however, going over to the side of Brickhouse, and they run it top. I would like to see that a different point here, and we do see that Shelvig is going in very, very alone. Red Face Beast faces straight for that potion, but that is because, well, it is not their potion, to put it very simply. Oh, Sparklark got booted by the Dragon Knight. There we see the vent coming out from the side of Infernal Affairs as the rest of the team starts to meet. Hexblades gets booted. Not quite into danger, but definitely not in the not most ideal of places. And the Dragon Knight is being zoned out as the Orc is just putting the creepy hand on them and forcing them away. Would I like to see the unstop there, but honestly, it's just a Dragon Knight with 6% health left and only 10 seconds. I like that ping by the Tassadar, just basically saying siege camps up. You can do it whenever it is off, whenever that Dragon Knight goes down, which will be now. And we see those siege giant camps spawning back in once again. To touch a bit more on the heroic talents, because I didn't do that for the side of Infernal Affairs, we have Combustion on Blaze, Entomb on the Orc, Black Hole on the Tassadar, Massive Shove on the Stukov, a personal favourite of mine, and Lightning Ball on the Cassia. We see a gank set up, however there's not many places to be, especially now Sylvanas sees that no one is on that bruiser camp. Getting pings all around the map, we see that Shyborg was pinged. We don't know by who, however. And we do see Tater and Zesty trying to take this bottom camp. Be interesting to see if the red side of Infernal Affairs sniff it out, and it looks like they're going to. Stro will be the first to step up. We do see those pings. Excellent free-man stun, and that will be a excellent combustion. That will be the first going down, second going down, third going down. That is an excellent free-man kill for the side of Infernal Affairs, and that blaze will hit that charge. That collision course doing so much damage, and that will be a 4-man kill for the side of Infernal Affairs, and this building should indeed be theirs. Sonya is also doing a double soak thing while Leoric is trying to defend a camp, I should mention during all this. But excellent kill of the 4-man by the side of Infernal Affairs, and it looks like they're opening up this bottom lane as a win condition now. They're wanting to get as much siege as possible, trying to see if they can get at least this tower, if not the whole front gate. We see the first bit go down, we see the second, and that looks like it'll be this tower going down anyway, even without the help of the heroes of Infernal Affairs. And looks like they're thinking about setting up a gank. Thing to note here, Dovetail is with the enemy. Oh, no, both teams are together now. I say that, but Dovetail was just... Oh, sorry. Making their way back up to that top lane, to the home of the offlaner. Thing to always remember about Sonya, she has great siege and actually great hero damage. Very safe play happening here by the side of Infernal Affairs. They seem almost a bit like we have to deathball and we win, as we did see that one fight where they managed to deathball onto the side of Brickhouse here, that they did win it quite cleanly. And actually their comp does well with that deathball, even though they have one one frontliner. As if Blaze hits that stun, that's excellent setup for all Ragu, Red-Faced Beast and Hexblades, because if even he hits one or more than one, Stukov is essentially able to tell them to stay put and be quiet. Okay, we see bot being capped once again. Flipped over once again by the side of Brickhouse. Again, we're actually just getting very safe play from both sides, just not really wanting to be where the other side is. Once again, we see Stro capping this bottom objective. What's the plan here, Blue? Shrine is flipped. Leoric is actually heading down early and should be able to... Actually, no, because they showed him this wave, they should be able to see what's happening. Ike uses jump too early and will eat a lot of damage for that. Excellent avatar keeping him alive, and that lightning orb will not quite kill him. Zesty and Tater is trapped in that tomb, and we do see the black hole stunning them both, keeping them in there, and that will be both the Decade and the Sylvanas going down. However, during that, the top shrine was retaken by the Sonya. Sonya just needs to turn up to these fights a bit more, as they just always seem to be down a man, and that is always just causing a lot of issues. Stro taking a lot of damage here, actually. If there's any sort of CC to keep them in, it may have actually been a death... Not death wish, it would have been a death sentence for Stro there, and now we do see that siege camp as being better upon... Evoke does choose to back out, as we do see the side of Infernal Affairs comfortably taking this now. Yep, good calls, good plays, just making sure to paint the map red, get as much macro control as possible. And we do see that is starting to pay off now, as there is a 17 level advantage over the side, over Brickhouse's 16. Okay, that ping was probably just letting everyone know where the blue team are. We see Leoric grabbing the top. Tychus was a bit out of position, but nothing came onto him. Dovetail is actually with the 5-man, with their core for Brickhouse for once, so we should see what happens here. Leoric is heading down. Dovetail considering heading off. Red-Faced Beast in a very good leap range of Dovetail. Sparklark over scopes it out. No. Sees it. And basically forces Dovetail to retreat. And now we see Dragonite coming back to this bottom lane. They really want to drive home that this bottom lane will be their bottom lane to win the game. Well, that is for some Infernal Affairs, however. And it's actually considered a win condition just because of the free camps that push through here, 2 siege, 1 bruiser. Or knight, whatever else you want to call it. This Dragonite is slowly hitting this objective, trying to get out of the Odin. The Bracken Drill one big drill boy that is on the side of Brickhouse. Hello, Shy. I hope you're doing well today. I am quite tired, but here I am once again. I'll rock you like a hurricane. Could we just see the Dragonite kind of posturing? Seeing if they could bait the blue team of Brickhouse into a bad position, and it looks like Brickhouse is starting to shade. Hexblade gets a bit antsy, and we see Shyborg scopes that bush out wonderfully with a grenade, hitting 3 members of the side of Infernal Affairs. And this, all this posturing really doesn't end up doing much more. Dragonite. Red Face Beast does get hit by that grenade, but however, that was just a very anticlimactic Dragonite phase, all considering. I'm very tired, didn't see much. I did see that on Twitter. That's actually wonderful news, you guys. I'm so happy for you. I may not sound like it is just because I am tired and just woke up from a nap. We do see that Leorica's first go down. They're just kind of standing there. It looks like they're forgetting how their abilities work. See Cassia going down next, followed by the Sonya. And they'll actually still be the red team zoning out the side and actually winning out the camp in the end, as we do see they're now closer to their 20 talent tier. They're deciding to even up this top lane by taking the well for the off laner. Where's Leoric? Leoric is finally using their trait value. I very much could sleep sitting up as well. But yeah, we do see that well being taken down in half of 4. Very much balancing out this top lane, while both mid and bot definitely have the minion pressure coming in far stronger than any for the red side than the blue, as we see those waves are being super pushed up. Right, let's have a look at Storm Talents very quick. We have Flash Fire on the Blaze. We have Buried Alive on the Leoric. I don't even know what this is called. Force Barrier by the Tassadar. I haven't seen this Stukov build before. Bio Explosion Switch. Interesting. And we see the Infinite Lightning Ball by the Cassia. Everyone loves a good bit of volleyball, and Cassia is no exception. Getting a lot of pings around this area. We may see a fight going to break out very soon. Sparklock, what is your plan here? We do see that the spawner camp is being taken by the side of Infernal Affairs. Meanwhile, we do see the side of Brickhouse playing actually quite safely. They just don't want to get picked off just before 20s, and we do see that is a few... let's say pixels, but... a few pixels away, and we will only get it now. Will they be able to pick anything in time? We'll see. We see Respect the Elderly on deck, and I don't know what this one is called. Focusing Diodes on the Tychus. Withering Barrage on the Sylvanas. It's something you don't see as much, but I personally prefer it. I like the extra damage. Wait, does it even do extra damage? I like the cooldown reduction, and I like that it applies that Banshee's Curse, but I'm also a simple man. Sometimes I'm not awake enough. I'm not doing well enough to get those Banshee's Curses consistently. So I get the Q talent to do it for me. Now I've got hiccups as well as yawning. I am in for a ride today. The last things to note is the Ignore Pain from Sonya, something that we've seen a lot with her W build, her slam build, and we don't actually see the avatar upgrade. We don't see Unstoppable Force very much from the Muradin. For a long time we do actually still see Rewind. And while there is a bit of faffing around happening in this bot area, we do see that front gate was taken of the mid keep. Sylvanas now caught in an awkward situation. Does have to back out underneath. Chestnut says they're ready to use Force Wall. Very good thing to know. And Tater choosing to stand right in the middle of the camp to cap it. And this should be a... Oh, no it's not, as Sonya did channel top in time. Very good stuff by her, making sure to I went to go say delay and deny, and my brain just kind of went... And here we are. Brain not functioning, but functioning enough for me to say at least, oh, this is what's happening. As you see, Stro does face Chicken Bush, doesn't actually quite get taken out by it. Excellent silence and tomb by the Leoric. We do see Stro kind of bend the arrow, curve around that entomb, and manage to get perfectly in the hole to take out the both Decad and the Tychus. We do with that Leoric damage as well, as we did see them go the auto attack percent damage build. Evil K will be going down next, it looks like, and they'll be them being taken down. And it looks like we may just have a call to go to the buildings here. Yep, we do see Stro and Co moving into this not middle structure, this bottom keep. With the question now will be whether it is just taking down this keep, or whether they'll take try to take core as well. And it looks like it will be a core call by the side of Infernal Affairs. Stro taking decent amount of damage does pop that shield talent at level 1 to make sure they don't die, however they will die. And then this Vow becomes a lot more risky for the side of Infernal Affairs, as they don't have that tank to take damage from them. Decad 8 seconds up, however we do see the core 15 going to 50%, falling faster than it can for the side, than the respawns for the side of, ooh, Brickhouse. However, that is 2 kills, but that isn't quite enough to finish, to stop the red team of Infernal Affairs push, and that will be the first map of the series, going over to Infernal Affairs. As I remember to push my buttons, I will go over to the game summary screen. Click that. Delhi is now a new word. Delay, yeah, it definitely is. I am a master wordsmith, but having a look at this very quickly, we are on stats. Sorry, looking at the talents, we do see now this is stats. We were on talents. Woo! My brain is tired. Right, we do see actually it was a relatively moderate kill game. All considering, we do see 8 kills for the side blue team, 14 for the side red. Stukov did a lot more healing than Decad throughout that, which probably may have led to the reasonable difference. However, I did note that Decad, while they were throwing out as many potions as possible, just the allies weren't quite getting to them on time, so there may be some miscommunication there. However, Tychus did definitely do their job, 57k hero damage. Sylvanas not too far behind, however, just the bursty team fight that was present on the side of Infernal Affairs was just slightly more. I know it's weird to say that considering you see things such as Sonya, Sylvanas, and Tychus. It's just slightly more as that Blaze Charge does so much, as well as Tassadar and Cassia also doing an insane amount of damage. Right, I'm going to quickly throw it over to this talent screen, just so if you see any builds you would like to try out. Things to note for me, at least, is that Stukov build from Ragu, not very often we see all of these talents, at least. I'm personally a fan of these two, the Vigorous Reuptake and Targeted Excision, but Pop and Pustules, Box Popularly, and Bio-Explosion Switch is something we see far less. Also, a good thing to note is Unstoppable Force and Focusing Diodes also not seen very often within most levels of play. But right, I'm going to throw it over to the map view screen, and we will be right back after a short intermission. And when I say short, I mean short. As we see, our next map is the Alterac Pass. And as I always say, I don't know whether Brickhouse chose map pick or first pick. I try not to spoil the series, so unfortunately cannot know who does what. Right. As you hear slightly in the background, we do have a game ready. So let me transition over to the correct screen, which I nearly didn't, and I'll call what teams are which. On the right hand side of Infernal Affairs, we have Sparklark on the Sonya, Hexblades on, I can't even see what it is. Hanzo, Stro on the Blaze once again, Ragu on the Brightwing, and Red Face Beast on the Greymane on the right-hand side. We have an Owl coming in and hitting Stro. GG. Right, on the left-hand side, we see Dovetail on that Leoric, Zesty on Tyrande, Tater on the Kael'thas, Evoke on the Muradin, and the Tassadar is played by Shyborg. Right, and actually I should note that we do actually see a switch in characters here, as Dovetail was on the Leoric. On the Sonya before, and Sparklight was on the Leoric. Excellent stun combo by the right-hand side of Infernal Fears, actually making it so Muradin loses half of their health in a very short amount of time. And it looks like we are getting double rotations from the side of Brickhouse. What is that Owl doing? See that? Oh, the Owl's gone, okay. Right, let me just put on this minion to help clear this, right. Just a brief look at talents. We do see the Perfect Storm and the Lunar Blaze being the two stun, basically built off of stun talents damage from the side of Brickhouse, as well as Mana Addict. Another thing to note is that we do see the Tester in this game also went Psy Infusion. Something that as I cast more of these games notice is more and more, pick up more and more, and we do see this camp is taken first. These camps, very important. This map almost acts as like a second objective. Actually, even more important than the objective of the early game was picked. So it was picked up first by the side of Infernal Fear. So we'll have a bit more of a push of it, and we do only see that this camp for Brickhouse is coming through now. Actually, that's a lot of damage under the gates, and this will be crashing just slightly too early. So even though Infernal Fears did get out earlier, I'd say that Brickhouse had theirs timed better. We do see still a two-man rotate, and a warning came out. So the Tassadar pulled away. Right, and we just see forwards coming through from the side of Brickhouse with Infernal Fears not too far behind. Infernal Fears, the only thing to note of in terms of stacking talents is the Simple Geometry at 1, but that is followed up by Serrated Arrows at 4, meaning Hanzo will be very good at clearing minions, mercenaries, and monsters. Something very important for this map sometimes, considering that we have the Cavalry, we have the Siege Camps, and we have the Mountain Giants? Frost Giants? Giants. They exist. But yep. Also, as speaking of the Cavalry, we do see that the Cavalry objective phase is called. It'll be interesting to see whether the sides do actually bother with this early on, but we can only see with time, as every time I try to call something early, I get ignored and the teams decide to do something else. I also want to... I'm curious whether Red Face Beast takes the safe talent or they take the fun talent, a Wizened Duelist. And I'm very curious to see what you do, Wizened Beast, not Wizened Beast, Red Faced Beast. I want you to know I'm ready for your decision. Meanwhile, we hear a phase shift coming out onto the Sonya, but that'll be Sonya going down before phase shift can go off. Very unfortunate timing, as objective is now up. Siege Camp is taken by the side of Infernal Fears, however, so that should be helping push a little bit during this. Evil is stalled for a bit, thank you to that Blazes Fire. We did see that he tried to link for Fire. Much like Dark Souls, however, was not unable to do it at the point in time. Tater, I think, gets a little bit frightened and decides to stop channeling, but however, they do get it through this time. Hammer doesn't quite hit anyone, as we see Level 7's coming through just to show what is there without actually interrupting too much. We see that Dovetail takes a lot of damage. The Flame Strike from Kael'thas does stop this channel for a little bit. However, that is not enough, as they did not have a Tassadar with them, as they've been clearing this mid-camp. Very good defense by Infernal Fears, being able to switch that objective back over to their side. But once again, we see Brickhouse going for this objective. Thing to note about Brickhouse is even with the last man, all Regu has been stuck for quite a while. That wall placement very unfortunate for them. They try to use Cleanse to get out, however Muradin will be taking them down thanks to just to all their upfront damage. Greymane looks like to be getting very low, and they did not go Wizened Duelist, so not the fun one, is it? But I understand, as this is a serious game, and as it is the first of the tournament brackets. So whoever loses this will get knocked out for the season, and the winner will go on to the next round. Once again, just like the Dragonshire, we do see the first objective going over to the side of Brickhouse. So I would love to see what they can do with it from here. So I need to close this just to give myself some viewing room. Sonya having to play very safe. We do see 3 members of the side of Brickhouse down bottom, as it looks like they want to use the objective. No! Both Ewok and Tater back up to mid, as we see a very quick early defense of this cavalry member. Stro gets jumped on by Ewok. Ewok went heavy impact. Heavy impact, if you don't know, does 80% slow essentially to a hero upon landing. I need to check this. There you go. Slowed by 80% upon landing, which in a lot of instances feels like a root. I don't think there's any instance that I want to be slowed for 80%. Oh, what has Tessar picked? Very curious. Right, Tessar. Psi Infusion at 1. Electric Fence at 4 and Psionic Echo at 7. So going into that W build, the Psi Storm build. Wait, so yeah, the Psionic Storm build, yeah. And we do see bottom fort taken at the end of it. And we see 10s come through for the side of Brickhouse. We do see that Starfall on Tyrande actually adding a decent amount of extra damage and healing when there's an objective phase going on. The Avatar once again from Uridin. Black Hole from the... I nearly called him Phoenix. Wrong. Black Hole from the Tassadar. Pyroblast from the Kale Fist. And Entomb from the Leoric. Tater's stepping up relatively aggressively into that fort, however we do see that no one was nearby to punish him. And we do see this siege camp once again being taken by the side of Infernal Affairs. Infernal Affairs is actually giving up a fair amount during each of these objectives. Phase shift out to Stro actually not feeling too much of the effects because of it. Gets an excellent double stun. We see combustion go off that. Tassadar will actually a bit anti-synergistic. Evil will be standing in the middle of that dragons and will be going down. And that is the tank over the side of Brickhouse going down. It's still at 2 kills to 1, however. Red Face Beast does consider diving into mine. Stro gets very low. That bomb will just be not quite enough. Dovetail wants it, but does not fully commit to getting the kill on Stro. And this building here is just one or maybe 2 hits away from dying. I think during this phase that Infernal Fierce has just given up a bit too much. We saw bottom fall too easily, as well as top is just also being taken a bit too easily. As we see VR coming through, not quite finding anyone. And Hanzo just completed his quest. Very good coming into this next objective phase, as there's a bunch of walls around the enemy's objective, which is probably one of the better ones for this Hanzo, ignoring Battlefield of Eternity. Sounds like a spec mock we talked about. Okay. Interesting. So, oh my gosh, the Zesty died. That is a very dead Tyrande, and that is a wonderful example of wrong place, wrong time. Goodbye hero, health pool. And this should now be another 10 seconds until the Tyrande is up, and we did see Leoric take top building there. As I said, just a little bit too much was lost during that phase. Stro backing out quite a lot. I don't know why that there was a call to give that objective up, considering there's still one person up for another 5 seconds by the looks of it, and we do have Sonya just there. Ooh, Dovetail doesn't quite step up too early, and we do see Chibor going down to the Blaze of Stro, as well as Red Face Beast, Cursed Bullet, full combo. Sparklark spinning does have bomb with him, does get stunned out of it, so is not able to finish anything off. Okay. And I never actually talked about the talents on the right hand side. We did see the combustion from Blaze, Leap Sonya, Curse Bullet Greymane, Dragon Strike Hanzo, and Emerald Wind Brightwing, something we have seen less. Well, we haven't seen much in recent years, but it's been picked up a little bit more and more just for its playmaking capabilities within these games, as we do see it has been able to split teams when they phase shift onto things such as the Blaze and able to push that R button, splitting the team, as Blaze is a character who likes to be in deep and able to get it and get out once again. Right, so really Infernal Affairs need minimum 2 actual structures here, not just gates with the structure itself, to really balance things out. We do see that siege coming out. We see Zesty and Chibor rotating down first. The Sonar Arrow coming out will scout. Oh, not Scout Mirrodin. Mirrodin just goes a bit too safe, and now we get those cavalry camps in. If you don't know how the cavalry camp works, anyone who is in a certain radius of it will do an extra move speed and damage, and that will be the Curse Bullet combo once again going out on Tyrande. Tyrande will be going down first. Dovetail gets an excellent Entomb off, getting both the Brightwing and the Blaze stuck. That is Tessar going next, however, to Red Face Beast. Red Face Beast trying to go onto the Ilvelk, and we should remember Brightwing is not up currently, so Red Face Beast is in a bit of a very dangerous position. There'll be them getting full stun comboed, rolls a bomb into the allied team, and will go down. That is a 2-for-2 trade, as 13s are through for both sides. Well, while that's been happening, we did get that bottom building going, and we do have these cavalry members still pushing in, so this may even be a free objective. Stro! There was a bomb on that cavalry person. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and just say you didn't see it. But that's the problem with Mr. Fireman himself, Kalefish. If you don't see his living bombs, life is going to suck. Oh, they're mountain giants, not frost giants. Got it. But yeah. Fireman give fire. You eat fire, you give to friend. Not good idea. And we saw the cavalry giving it to a friend of Stro. Sure. Stro didn't die, but still that was a lot of damage. Owl does scout this bottom boss, and we see the side of Brickhouse decide to start the others one in response. However, it should be interesting to see if they're able to burn it down time, as Owl doesn't quite hit anyone. It does hit Ragu. No, it hit Visonia. This boss is going down. I don't think the side of Infernal Fears is going to get there in time. We see it being channeled, and we see that just everyone was slightly too late. However, they're in a much better position to start defending this. Tater barely gets out in time. Stro tries their best to interrupt it, however, just a bit too late. And here we just hear all the damage coming out. The Sonya slams, the Hanzo scatter arrows. Greymane doing something else, and even here, actually, we do see boss already been taking out these towers. So will it get both? Ooh, not quite. That tower living with a little bit of health. However, this boss doesn't look like it'll even... Well, it will touch the gate, but it won't do too much to it. Oh wow, those gnolls actually eat a decent amount of damage, and yep, boss didn't even touch the gate. This gate, fully intact. That means this boss got actually nothing in terms of buildings. Not the most ideal, but they're also not known as the strongest bosses within the game. That would definitely be more on the side of... Oh. Warhead Junction, maybe? I'm not so sure about bosses. Not my forte, maybe, is probably the best way to say it. Probably not my area of expertise. Albeit, when it comes to this game, nowhere is my area of expertise. Oh. We don't need those types of jokes here. We're a positive community. I say blaming Stro for eating a unnecessary living bomb. I'm not mean to pick on them. They're doing actually an amazing job on Blaze thus far. I'm actually very enjoying it as a main tank. Watching this main tank Blaze is something you don't see often, especially with talents such as the Endurance, Stim Pack, and the Auto Attack. So this talent actually I love a lot. Nanomachine coating I think is amazing. And we see that Dragon Strike taking down people once again. Evolk is kind of isolated in backline, getting peppered down by Hexblades, getting peppered down by Red Face Beast, and that jump not quite far enough, and the Q from Hanzo barely finding that Mirrodin butt and taking them down with what seemed to be very close to exactly the right amount of damage. One thing to note, very big blue wave coming in bottom, and it looks like Sonya will be going to deal that at the time. That will be a lot of soak for the side of Infernal Affairs. And it looks like with this objective, we won't see the Mirrodin back realistically up until the objective is ending. There's a, 6 second, 7 second, 7-8 second gap between the... Oh, there's the owl again. Look at the owl just sitting above Tyrande. So while your mounted is Tyrande, that's where your owl goes. Heaven. But yeah, again, we don't see that. Oh, we do have a Curse Bullet combo coming up for Red Face. Red Face Beast actually gets saved by Stro as Stro interrupts Tater's Pyroblast. Yeah, Tater's Pyroblast, yeah. Excellent stuff from Stro indeed. Again, I've I've been talking up actually this main tank Blaze quite a bit now, but I think it is well and truly deserved as for the amount of stuff it's setting up. Still not the biggest fan of Combustion personally. I think Bunker is a better talent, but hey, I'm just gonna judge. Yet Stro is a much better tank than I am, and I proved that last season. If you look at my miserable tank record for at least NGS Season 11. We do see Cavalry coming in. Dovetail does spawn top, however, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 team members top for the side of Brickhouse, while 5 is hard shoving mid. This bottom lane being a bit too pushed out to really get too much extra done. Good by the Tesla, getting a lot of damage done. As this, sure, the cavalry itself is the objective, gives the buff, gives the move speed, gives the attack damage. However, it itself isn't the most powerful of things. It really enables both ally heroes and ally minions, being this wave in it. So them being able to take that minion wave down so quick, so fast, so furiously, I don't know. And we do actually see down here the Tesla going down as I was itching my neck. I'm so sorry that I decided to use my mouse hand for that. There is the Starfall, damage coming out. Sonya a bit out of position, however, doesn't look to be any true danger. I'm going to close this, and we do hear... I thought I heard something I didn't. Interesting. But right, we do see the side of Infernal Affairs backing off and Brickhouse just looking to do the siege camp once we're done. But however, this is an immediate boss call, and oh my gosh, that boss is already down to half health. Oh! That's what we call a lot of damage. But there is actually a decent amount. Is not Sparklark, for Hanzo is the probably reason that happened. Is Hanzo excellent race potential, excellent Merc potential, excellent PvE potential with that scatter build. Right, we do see the Storm talents coming through for the side of Infernal Affairs. We see that Flash Fire once again. Bit preemptive. Oh, there's snakes on that skin. Okay. I never noticed that until now. Bit preemptive on the Dragon Strike. But however, because of that 20 that the Dragon Awakens, is actually a very short cooldown. Greymane, just to touch on your last two talents, Greymane went to that Tooth and Claw, the Cleave on the melee auto attack, and Brightwing went Intensive Winds. We do still see Heroics Eye here for the side of... We still see we're waiting on Storm talents for the side of Brickhouse, and I actually would have liked to see the Greymane sticking with a team here just to give that extra siege. And however, this Mountain Giant should have been relatively defended, but no. The side of Brickhouse decides to back off. I wonder if that was the right call. I wonder if they could have gone more of this boss if they decided to help defend it as well. We do see all 5 of the team of Brickhouse here, sure, and Greymane was doing that camp. However, it seems like almost a waste of a boss at that point, as it is quite quickly burned through. However, we do see the siege camp now taken by the side of Infernal Fears, invading on Brickhouse's side of the map via camp. However, once again, their wave queer and their camp queer is also very good, and we do see that camp going down. Right, and over here we see objective taken by the side of Infernal Fears as it starts general over. Anyway, let's get into the Storm talents of Brickhouse as we see the Ice Blade arrows at level 20 for the Tyrande. Ice Blade arrows, if you don't know, means she auto attacks faster and gives damage reduction. Mirrodin is going what I expected last time, and we do see that rewind. Force Barrier from Tassadar, Flamethrower from Kael'thas, and Leoric goes the Silence and Tomb. Important thing to notice about Leoric is they have not completed their auto attack quest yet, that Mithril Maze, so they won't be able to do too much. We hear Curse Bullet come out, Evil losing a lot of health. Davis backline. Meanwhile, we do have a very split fire. Davolf getting decent amount of damage. Hexblade's throwing in a Dragon Strike, well, Snake Strike by the looks of it. That'll be the Dovetail going down first, as they did eat a lot of that damage from Blaze. Blaze then takes down a second. That charge, that damn charge does so much with that level 13 collision course, adding 627 extra damage at this point in time. That is nothing to sneeze at. If you look at someone like Tyrande itself, Tyrande only has 3,300 health, 600 extra damage on top of Blaze's normal charge damage. We are getting a lot of chase. Okay, Hanzo decides to give up. Sparklark's dying run down. Manages to hit the spear, however Zesty manages to find the stun Moonfire onto them, and now we see them backing to safety. Blaze does have this siege camp taken. They're pinging for help. This camp will still be showing on map, so the enemy team of Brickhouse does know that it's there. However, they will not be able to do anything. A good flame strike getting Ragu to take that extra damage. And now we have cavalry coming in once again. I would like to see a bit more patience of this, so it came out when the cavalry caught up. However, it is not the most important. Good on Tyrande for running that long. Look, Tyrande was very determined to get out, and she just led them on enough of a chase to actually leave. Well done to them. Good to see you also, Chauncey. I hope you're doing well this evening / morning, depending where you are. Anyway, we do see that this is looking like 2 objectives. 2 of these keeps it down already, so this core is now down to only... Oh, was it 20 armor? For some reason I thought it was 10 armor on core when it's only 1 health plate. Well, I've been wrong the whole time. We do see Leap coming out into Shyborg. Shyborg then eating Curse Bullet. Does not go down here. And there'll be excellent silence in terms of Buried Alive coming out, managing to find the Sonya first. Ragu getting very low, uses the intensive winds to get himself out of danger. We do see the Mirrodin going down bottom to the Greymane. We do see that actually Lurok has been able to finish that Mithril Mace, and we do see the red team is backing out. However, this core is getting very low. I wonder if they'll decide to turn back, seeing how low it is. We do see them very much questioning it. Hanzo getting that extra poke onto it. Oh, that is core getting it down to less than 2k. We're getting down to 1k health. That is the Hanzo going down. That will be Greymane diving core, and that will be the game, the map, and the series going over to the side of Infernal Affairs. As I will quickly throw us over to, when I remember to push right buttons, the game summary screen. Here we go. Right, we did actually see this game. Brightwing did an incredible amount of healing, almost double Tyrande's healing. However, Tyrande, not known for their healing, so to speak. They're known very much for their vision with the Owl and their stun follow-up with the Lunar Flare. I believe that's what it's called. I'm just going to go here to check briefly. Yes, it is indeed Lunar Flare. However, I wonder if that was the right healer for the comp. I do like there was actually a decent CC change with Mirrodin and Kael'thas and Tyrande. However, each and every one of those CCs were skill shots, and we did see it link up a few times in these 7 kills. However, not quite as much as we would have liked. I did like the idea behind this quickly kill one person comp. However, this wasn't quite as well executed as things like a Varian could lead it to be, but definitely excellent on the Tyrande, as someone did point out in the chat. On the right hand side, once again, we did see that Blaze Greymane combo just doing a lot of damage ultimately. The Curse Bullet into Blaze Charge, into Greymane, just dive, auto attack, in the Greymane, in the Worgen form, just was so much burst. I will not put down Hanzo. Hanzo did an excellent amount of damage themselves. And just, it was a lot of very good synergy from the side of Infernal Affairs. So as I update the score, that means Infernal Affairs will have gone through to the next round of these playoffs, with Brickhouse unfortunately falling just short within this series. I will say that even though they are out of the series, I very much appreciated watching them play and make sure they try to stay in as well as possible. As again, I did say that this is a number 5 versus number 4 on the table, and it was actually, for a lot of instances, we did see that Brickhouse did lead the early game, just it slowly fell off in the mid and late game, but that is the nature of some of these heroes. Hanzo excellent late game, as well as Greymane, as well as Sonya, as well as Blaze, as well as Brightwing. Well, Tyrande is relatively early to mid, same for Mirrodin, same for Tass, and this Alterac Valley, Alterac Pass does tend to last a bit longer. Right, I'm going to throw it over to map. Actually, no, before I throw it over to map view, I'm quickly going to show talents for anyone who is interested in the builds that happened here today. Things that interest me quite a bit is that Tassadar W build that has been talked about a bit more as of late. I am personally a fan of... I play the hybrid build, which is the Q at 1, and as well as some of the... Which one is this again? Yes, as well as this W talent at 7 and 16. Well, I did see the Leoric did go the Paralyzing Rage. I don't think it always is interesting, because for the longest time, the pick was always you have to pick Neo Peasants, and they kind of half-baked that into him baseline and being kind of made it so his wave clear was also stronger. And I'm wondering, I need to actually look at it. I'm wondering if this 20% extra slow is worth it compared to Neo Peasants. Blaze also, I always know, is interesting. Is this Endurance Stim pack at 1? I don't know if it's the pick. I haven't played around with it, but things such as the Unstop is usually very good. However, as I said, that the stun combo was definitely, could have been there for the side of Brickhouse. I did like what they have, it just wasn't quite connecting. Otherwise, everything else kind of makes sense. I'm going to be honest, bit sad I didn't see Wise and Duelist. I love Wise and Duelist. Love me some meme talents. Look at the heroes please don't, but if you see some of the heroes I play, I do love memes. But right, I'm going to throw it back to that map view screen. As we see for the final game of Brickhouse's series, it was a 2-0 against them as Infernal Fears went up. However, I do have to say they have to hold their heads high as they definitely took it to the favored team here of Infernal Affairs, even if it was just a one seed difference. But right, we did see that Infernal Affairs won the Dragon Shire in the Ultimate Pass. However, that will be the last cast for me this evening. I would like to wish everyone who turned up in the chat a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, depending where you are, as well as anyone who watches this at a later date. And I'd like to say, I will see you all in the Nexus. Goodbye.